when you run the regression, you will get price equals alpha plus beta size plus beta 2 bath plus beta 3 oak for each of your variables. What you will get is this number here, all these estimates that will tell you how much this particular characteristic, whether you've got, you add one more bathroom, the value goes up by beta, whatever this is, it might be $1,000 or something. If you add an oak tree, then the value of the house either goes up or down. And what he found was some trees detract from the value of the house and some add to the value of the house. And so that informed the city of Oregon, or the city of Portland, I mean, what types of trees to plant in new neighborhoods, the ones with higher value. So you could do the same thing for any kind of transaction that occurs, as long as you have prices and as long as you have characteristics that you can separate and measure, then you can calculate the value of those characteristics. We could do this for the value of the river in Saskatoon, right? How would we do this? What would we measure? If I wanted to measure the value of the river in terms of an amenity, just looking at it, a visual amenity, how might I do that?
How wide is this? Like the size?
No, with the value of it. Like if I just like to look at the river, and I use real estate.
Well, you could just use the neighborhood, the houses that kind of run along the river, and you could calculate what kind of view they have. If it's 100% view or whatever, and then the next ones might be 25%. So you might still have a higher value than the ones, and if they're all similar houses.
Yeah, exactly. You would get all the transactions for houses that were sold right on Saskatchewan, Crescent, and Spadina, as well as some other neighborhoods. And you would look at the different, you would have the transaction prices, and then you would have a characteristic here that said view. Crap. Yes would be 1 and 0 would be no. And so when you did the statistics, let's say that this was beta 5. Beta 5 is probably going to be a positive value, because if you have a view, it shows you that the house is worth more, right? You're going to pay more for your house if it has a view of the river. You pretty much know that all those houses along the river are going to be more expensive, even the little crappy ones. Down by the railroad bridge, there's one right in the corner that's for sale. A friend of mine's looking for a house. He said that was worth $600,000, and it's like as big as my bathroom. It's a teeny tiny wartime house. So if you want to estimate the amenity value of the river, this is how you might do it. Why do economists like this method better than, say, CVM? Why would you think?
Because people actually paid.
Exactly. Yep. Because people actually pay, right? They're not telling you their value. They're not saying, it's worth $500,000 to me, the view of the river. They paid for a house. They paid $400,000 for that particular house, more than maybe a house on the street behind. So we can tease this out through statistics and figure out what those values of the amenities are. You can do that for trees, for water, for air pollution. There's been a lot of studies done using houses, people buying houses in cities, similar cities with air pollution versus no air pollution, or minimal air pollution versus a lot of air pollution. And when you put air pollution in this, yes or no, or a level, you can get the value of that. So that gives us some idea of what the value of the non-priced aspects are, the environmental values. We like it because it's indirect. We observe, people actually pay or vote with their feet. They will either move there or pay. So that method, this method is considered fairly sound.
Okay, for real, even if river like Frozen.
Yep, frozen rivers are good. Just don't skate on this one, it's gonna go down.
In summertime, I have a lot of mosquitoes.
No, not here. Okay, so I'm gonna go over one more, and that's the travel cost, and it takes a little bit of getting into. So the travel cost method is where we will pick it up next time. And then I will also start the next, whatever it is, the last module on financial stuff next time. And then that'll be the end of my lecturing. So next assignment will be done Thursday, after next Thursday. So you have a week and 2 days. Probably what you're doing. I'm sorry that we got that much before realizing
No, I just did this and does Go ask her.
What are you doing? What?
I won't consider it.
You guys in the oil?
We can add all that stuff. It's probably just you do the other Yeah. No, take this one. I won't mark this one. We're not asking for that. Do the other one. The other one should be.
Yeah, that'll work.
Work next week.
So it's just when I was looking at it now and I realized that there's like some.
We all like. There's some examples here.
Because I just leave Wednesday afternoon.
Can you come see me next Thursday after class? Do you have a class for class?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk out there.
Yeah.
You guys are due next Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to hand it in the day, that's okay.
Yeah, just do.
'Cause that's a lot of work, that one.
Yeah, we'll be squishing it.
Yeah, plus it's public, so you don't want to,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
What is club good?
A club good? Oh, I probably didn't say that. It's, think about this. When we have, you have rivalry and non-rivalry, and then you have excludability and non. This is, right, exclusive.
Yeah.
This is public good. If you can exclude people, but if they consume it, there's just as much left. Think about a golf course. That's the best example, and you would consider this a club good. So you can exclude people from the club.
Yeah,
Once
we're not
they
going
get
to
in
pay,
there.
they just.
Yeah, you just don't let them in the gate, right?
Okay.
So golf course, if they don't pay, you can't
Same
exclude.
about the parks, like national parks.
Right.
If they don't want to pay, they don't come there.
Right,
Okay.
right, so you can keep people out of there. But once they go into the park or into the golf course, if it's not crowded, then it's not a problem, right?
Yes.
In this case, these are called common goods because they are non-exclusive, right? So it's more like the commons or open access. But once they consume, like this is wildlife, it's in here. Once they consume it, there's less for everybody else. So this is a common good and this is a club good.
Oh.
Does that make sense? So golf courses too. You can exclude people, but once they get in there, they can go everywhere and their actions don't affect anybody else. Make sense? Okay. So that means you're not done your assignment yet?
No, I was trying to yesterday night, but there are some thoughts